棋手应该是死离内战，双方都想要把这个另外一个职业留在后面一点，所以
let's pull out their deck list.
或先过关。那至于先过关的那一方呢，就有比较大的机会可以赢。
Sharpedo vs Uma。
大战。
以剪刀石头布的概念而言 ，Sharpedo 这边是稍微劣势一点点，因为龙族算是比较好克生化的。
是。好。
And it will be Uma on his dragon versus Sharpedo's Shadow. So Sharpedo again is going to be playing his mid-range Ledger. And the dragon list is going to be the ramp dragon. It's kind of stormy since with the fortes and the urds. And the roars.
中间做到场面优势。
对，1到4倍先把它给打残。
你让他过得太舒服的话，你接下来就不会舒服。
So it will be a, and we do have the Japanese versus Taiwanese team finals. So MSV representing Japan, and TheGods representing Taiwan.
.2起势呢？有同时起势2费，那真的是顺的。那接下来就要看这边4费有没有乐哈布或者是其他的东西可以处理台面。军神，现在就照着节奏下，就尽量去把它打残。
Alright, Sharpedo missing out on the Attentive Knight. Attentive Knight would have been so sick with that Erd on curve. And Rahab just gonna stop Sharpedo from doing much this turn. He could bump the Grimir in with the Rahab and play Erd to give back his Grimir some life. It's such a mediocre play though. I guess he doesn't really have much else to do. He could play, unless he wants to save the Erd to Erd whatever gets evoed from Uma's side. Looks like he's going to go for the Erd play. Pretty weak. But Uma might just be using his turn to Fervor, which is, yeah, he's just going to Fervor this turn. It's not that great either. He's going to have to just evolve his Rahab. And that lets the Erd just be able to trade into that. Picking up a Death Breath. It's just going to be a weak turn from Sharpedo too. Both players not having the best of turns. But because Shadow was having weak turns as well, that's going to mean the dragon is going to be favored moving forward. Going to evolve the Illyrio so you can push the extra damage and keep your Erd up. It's something to know is that Yuma is playing 1 Lightning Blast, so he will have an answer to that 1 Mordecai, possibly, if he has it in his hand. I'm surprised none of these players had brought OTK Dragon. Like, the entire tournament was just ramp dragons. No aggro, no OTK discard. If it was me, I definitely would have brought discard. Alright, so Death Breath here is going to have to use his Evo to just clean off the Sybil. And now he's out of Evo points. And running out of cards in his hands. Going to be banking on that Mordecai to carry. So that Ouroboros just going to come in. Going to do a lot of damage. And that's going to be a 10-4. And Sharpedo without any evil points left doesn't really... Not going to have a good answer to that. Zombie party doesn't kill it. Would have to bank on like he would have to use like a Ector, get one zombie to trade into that. Going into Death Breath here, but doesn't get the ward, so that Ouroboros could be going face. It could be GG too if he had Forte and Erd. But Green Mirror is just as brutal. And that's pretty much going to seal the deal here because Sharpedo doesn't have any answers in his hand. Mordecai does nothing. Sector doesn't even do anything. He picks up the Actor though. Actor's going to let him survive. Though I think Uma's just going to play Ouroboros over 2 turns to win the game.
这个问题依然就是没有解决，就是人家就是靠着这个菠萝点的你不要。
而且死灵这边并没有优质的补血的手段，也没有带优质。
It's going to be the Zeus. So it's GG for Sharpedo. Picks up a Grimmirror, not turn 10 yet. Even with a Grimmirror, Grimmirror and Hector can't even get over the Zeus. So game 1 going for Uma. Which makes sense. Sharpedo didn't have an explosive start, which he had wanted. If he had a Tentative Knight on turn 3 instead of the Grimmirror, it could have been slightly different. Because he had the Erd on 4. So now Uma just trying to win with his Shadow. His Shadow is being the more standardized mid-range one. With just Orthros, Thane. Doesn't have any Attendant Knights or Liches. Sharpedo's got the Ledger. Does he keep it in his opening hand? I guess it depends if he's going first or second. If he's going first, I think you keep it. Yeah. So he's going second, but he did keep the Ledger. The Ledger will get him value, or get him ahead of the board in like the following 2 turns, like on turn 4 and turn 5. Picks up the Goblin just in time. Having a 1-drop going second isn't as important in the mirror though. Usually the player going first gets to play the 2-2, which can value trade into your 1-drop. Sharpedo just gonna use that zombie party, makes sense because he wants to play the Attendant of Night next turn.
其实这边，以 Sharpedo 这边，他先进一张魔将也未必是坏事啊，因为他前期有事做，所以能先进一张，后面能做保险的大招也是不错的。
至少目前看起来是。
So I assume it's going to be the Attendant of Night, and will he trade? I don't think so. Yeah.
对，不会卡手。最怕就是你抽了这个魔将赫克托，结果你选手卡手，那就最尴尬。
Shadow Reaper coming out. No, there's no Orthros in Sharpedo's list, so he doesn't have a way of sniping it.
那这边可能就要靠。
We'll have to just deal with it on his next, on his second, on his turn after this.
这也是你唯一可以下的。
Picks up a Thousand Leisure. Is that better than Ledger? I would think it's not. Yeah, might as well play the Ledger now. Start getting those Liches early because it sends out your deck. And the longer you wait on your Ledger, if you happen to play it on a turn where you're going to have like 8 play points, then 8 play points or more, it can pull your Ector, which you don't want. And he's going to evolve that Attendant Knight. Just start going face with it. And I really like this play because it forces your opponent to deal with that Attendant Knight and would have to deal with the Lich that comes from it.
即便这边出了这个凯尔贝罗斯，也没有到这么好处理。
So Uma here, he has, okay, he's got the Soul Squasher. Oh, he doesn't have enough Necro on it. I guess he doesn't want to use the Necro. Seeing that he played it first, it looks like he's just going to... Looks like he's just going to trade into the Lich and just go face for 5. Alright. Good for the more aggressive play. I think he could have ordered it in a way where Shadow Reaper would be at 1 health and then he clears the board. But he doesn't want that. He just wants to go face. He's going to have to be the Sector here that's just going to evolve into the Reaper, train 1-for-1. Fortunately for Sharpedo, he invested last turn into his Ledger, so now he's going to be able to get a second Lich from it. So evoing into and trading 1-for-1 there isn't even that bad because it still gets the 4-4. And he has Death Breath next turn, so it's feeling good. Uma gets to Death Breath first though. And it's going to be Sharpedo with his Death Breath. So will Uma have his Ector on 7? It's a big question. Does he... Okay, he's going to trade into the 4-attack zombie and just get his Lich popped. So Sharpedo's got a nice looking hand. He's got an Ector to follow up this Death Breath. If Uma has his own Ector, he could clear the board. Oh wait, no, he can't. Because he would only get 1 zombie. There would be... The Lich would survive. I didn't realize he was that low on shadows. What else could he do then? Zombie Party would be okay. Zombie Party to 4-3. Mortal Thane. So he still fills the board. Gets the board full, he starts gathering shadows if he does have an Nectar. Is he dead though? Because there's 3 followers on the board, so Ector's adding plus 6 damage, plus 8. So that's going to be 14. So that's going to be Sharpedo taking it in the mirror match. So unfortunately for Uma, if he did have the Ector, he didn't have enough shadows to be able to deal with the board. So the Ector play would have been pretty mediocre. Try to go for the Thane instead. Sharpedo tying it up, and now he's just got to win with his Rune deck. And he is playing the Temple Rune. So we will see the Temple Rune versus the mid-range Shadow. Will Sharpedo have a nutty Temple hand, or is Shadow just going to run it over? Probably just going to keep the insight here. Sharpedo is going second, so he will get to evolve first, and he has the Levi for it. Picks up a Mutagen ball, not going to be that impactful. Neither is the second insight. Ideally, he would have wanted like a... He wants to open up with a Daria, right? So he could get that as soon as possible. Probably just gonna have to insight again. Oh man, that's kind of rough for Sharpedo. Just drawing a slightly wrong order now, and because he drew those cards out of order, Uma's just got the board full all of a sudden. You can play Craig and Bell boosted with Chet, so you can play two 2/2s. Next turn he has Levi plus his second Craig. Seems like the course of action is going to be taking a lot of damage here.
前面扑出来的场面太强。
And Uma is playing the Orthros in his deck, so if Sharpedo does go for the double 2/2s into the Orthros, that's going to be huge for Uma. Yep, so he's going for it. He's gotta go for this.
魔法师李维可能再有一些不一样的变化，不然这场应该是真的会就这样去了。然后这边如果是下一个古之贵公子，这游戏就到了。
All face for Uma, but no, nothing he can play this turn.
没有，这边是直接弩。
This might give Sharpedo the room that he needs to get the board control. Now he's got Levi. He could evolve Levi and Kaleidoscope Glow, and then trade. Okay, so Levi trades into Soul Squasher. He Kaleidoscopes the Conjurer, and he trades both of his 2/2s into the Shadow Beast. Clears the board, and then you will have a 4/2 and 2/2/1s. Alright, good mechanics. Going to go for the draw first. Gets rewarded for it because he picks up the piercing rune. What's interesting to note is that he actually bounced back the Conjurer over the Soul Squasher. So Soul Squasher will have its fanfare activated, which could deal with the Levi. But I guess Sharpedo was thinking that if he bounces back the Conjurer, if Uma has another 2-drop, he could go for the Conjurer like Lirio combo, and that could clear more than the Soul Squasher. Also, Soul Squasher would take up all the shadows from Uma. Ooh, picks up the magic missiles. He's going to go for the piercing rune instead. And he could go for magic missiles, crimson sorcery, and now let him play both 2-drops. Oh, he's going to save the magic missiles. Okay. And all suddenly, Uma's just on the back end here. I don't think he's going to be able to deal with this. It looked like Uma was dominating this game from like turn 3, but that pass on turn 5, or no, not turn 5, turn 4, where he just couldn't play anything, put him so far behind. It's not over yet. Sharpedo doesn't quite have enough damage. He has 4 with the Craig, 5 with the magic missiles, and he'd be 2 off. He does have a Mutajank Bolt, which could possibly get the finishing damage. He just has to worry about the Soul Squasher. So I assume he'd have to magic missiles the Soul Squasher, and then deal 4, and then just hope that Uma plays 3 followers for the Mutajank Bolt to win. Oh, he's actually going to use the Soul Conversion. He wants to play around the zombie party? Or he's just looking for more answers because his hand's really dry. Blade Mage. I think you could just drop the Blade Mage for 6 and Evo it do 4 damage. Seems good. Oh yeah, he can play the Craig too. Now Uma's at 3 life. There's a Mutajank Bolt in Sharpedo's hand. Uma might have picked up a Death Breath at this time, but it's not going to be good enough against that Mutajank Bolt. It's Hector. Alright, so Hector's just going to leave one himself on the board, so Mutajang is only going to do 1 damage. But Sharpedo might do that anyways, just to put him at 2, and then he can just Magic Missiles next turn, and then pass his turn back to Uma. He's going to die. So Uma would have to find a way to kill his own rat. So if he has another Soul Conversion, he could do that.
然后在飞弹点头刚好。
对，只要他标志一定会转移掉，他知道锁死不掉，
就还有机会。好吧，我觉得。
Yeah, just going to rat here. Might as well. If you do anything else, you take an extra 5, which could be a bit risky.
处理掉，这是老鼠，或者是就真的这个推伤害推出8点伤害吧，都没收头。不过现在看也是比较没有机会。
Does Uma have lethal in any way, or is he have a way to remove his rat? Kaleidoscope Glow could work. He could bounce it back.
如果撞一下，然后灵魂转移，然后亡灵之消，然后再打上咪咪 Coco， 这样刚好。
然后刚刚咪咪 Coco 有过一张那个啦，有过一张咪咪啊。
对啊，刚刚有过一张咪，对。
Or Throws, okay. It's going to be 3. Only 4 play points left. Okay, it's not going to be enough. Oh wow, that's really close. So Sharpedo taking it with that Magic Missiles and the Mutajang pull for 1. That's like what I'm saying, like, every point of damage matters for Tempo Rune now. And Sharpedo's going to take game 1 of the finals for his team, TheGods.
这个导弹这边是拿下了这一排，非常惊险，那也是拿得非常好看。那恭喜这边是由 TheGods 这边率先拿下1比0的比分。
So now will it be Tong that could take TheGods to win for the finals? Or will Sepukuma be able to bring it back for MSV and take it to a game 3 or match 3?
那接下来呢，我们已经进入到我们的冠亚军赛了，那是由 TheGods 台湾队。
Let's skip this talk verse and get into the games.
对，这个在前面一局有看过。
Alright, so we're going to have Tong starting off with his dragon. There's a Sepukuma on his blood. So again, Tong is just going to be playing his Ramp Dragon, standard stuff. Less of the Storm stuff. And Blood, Sepukuma is going to be playing his mid-range-ish Blood. I say it's mid-range-ish because he's playing 3/7 drops in the Vanias. But it looks like Tong has a pretty good hand here. He's going to have Isla into Fervor if the Isla dies. But it looks like he's going to have to skip his turn 4 because I don't think Sepukuma's going to trade into the Isla. He could go Dragon Oracle instead. Dragon Oracle into Fervor. But he probably prefers just playing the Isla now. Then he can evolve the Isla and just Fervor and Oracle next turn. Go up to 6. And then he can play Sybil on his turn 5. It's going to net him both the heal and the ramp.
是我会做骑士，因为这里做艾拉会让，如果他真的对方真的没有解的话，会让你真的很难受。
See, Tong's thinking about if he wants to use that Dragon Oracle. He doesn't really have a play for turn 4 anyway, so I'd probably just play the Isla. He's actually going for the Dragon Oracle, okay. Interesting. He just wants the instant ramp going right now. So it looks like he's going to go for the Fervor next turn. And that's the Bell for Growth. 10 damage to yourself, draw 2. Go. Now that Lyria pickup now helps Tong curve out for his turn 5 play. He could go Isla plus Lyrio. Get rid of the Grimnir. Ping the Belfagor, I guess. You're going to take 6, but you're going to A, set up your Isla, which can ramp you. And next turn you're playing Sybil, which will also ramp you and heal you. You also have Israfil and Saha. So I think Tong is in an okay spot. It's going to depend if Sepukuma has the Air Jammer and how good the Air Jammer is. Here it is, the Air Jammer. Okay. Is he afraid of dying? He can't die. Like, if Breath of the Salamander then evolves Lyrio, he at most will have 9 damage. So does he evo the Belphegor and go face for 6? Nope, he's going to go for the Vampichan. And this is okay. Like, his board's resilient to AoEs. Sybil here, is that going to be enough? I think you go Sybil, evolve the Sybil, trade into the Imp, and you trade the Isla into the Belphegor? You go trade into the Belphegor because it has more health and it can be evolved into a 6/6 still? Or do you trade into the Vampy because you're afraid of Bloodkins? And yeah, I think that's right, going into the Belphegor. Next turn he has Israfil too, so the Vania at 2 health is going to die to the Israfil. Was Sahaquil into Israfil any good last turn? Could have evolved the Saha into the Imp, Israfil into the Belphegor, and then the Isla into the Air Jammer? Meh. Not sure. Either way, this Israfil is going to be pretty good. But that's 10 damage going to Tong's face. He does get 4 back with the Israfil's effect, but he can't kill out the bat. So that 4 health is essentially neutralized. He essentially gains like 1 health off of it. He's gotta go for it. There's no other play. He could go Sahaquil into Israfil. Israfil storms in, or rushes into the Air Jammer, and then he evolves the Saha and clears the board. But just hard casting the Israfil nets him 1 life, which could make a difference. Going to kill the bat instead. I don't think it makes a difference here, but yep, kills the bat. Has a 10-7. So the Sepukuma have lethal here. Needs 5 damage. Doesn't look like it if you're starting off with Diabolic Drain. Oh, he's 1 damage off. Double Diabolic Drain. Didn't have the damage, guys. And now Bahamut could go onto the board and threaten lethal. You gotta go for Bahamut because Sahaquil clears the board, but you don't get the health, and you'll just be left with a 4/4. Obviously, Fervor does nothing. Yeah, so it's going to be the Baha. He's going to have to take the gamble here. He didn't see Sepukuma with that 1 point of damage last turn. Blood Pack? Oh. Ah, he picked up the claw, okay. Sepukuma taking game 1 here.
这个对方比较顺的1、2、3、4打乱。
So that will be blood going out for Sepukuma.
这个3、5、6、3、5、7的节奏下去加一个登场，但中间因为被打乱节奏，所以导致回头下了一个艾拉。
Now he's gonna have to win with his Haven. So his Haven list was the hybrid Haven one, having a lot of amulets and storm burn / burn effects, and topping off with 2 Heavenly Aegis in his deck. And Tong going with his Ramp Dragon again.
这边一样再拿龙族出来打，还是希望把龙族这个先过了嘛。
It sounds decent. Could he go for? Could he keep Isla Uriel? Go for that 3 and 4 curve? Yeah, just going to throw it all back. Wants to hard ramp. He gets the Dragon Oracle and Nyla. So that looks pretty good. I guess he wants to find a Fervor and he just gets it. So yeah, Tong is chilly now. Tong is chilly. He just has to watch it out for his Ouroboros. Make sure it's not easily banishable. Because if the Ouroboros gets banished, he might run out of resources. But Isla is probably going to bait out a scripture.
哇，这个人家1回2回这样子拍，我觉得艾拉还是加点下军神跟艾拉，我宁愿。
Thinking about it though, he might not want to play the Isla. I mean, the difference between Isla and Grimnir, they both get banished, but Grimnir has better late game value than the Isla does, so might as well play it. It has the possibility of ramping.
这边有没有抓点？有，这就只能送他，没有办法。但别担心，还有斗气。
So he's just gonna get banished, but just Tong a turn where he just gets to play his Fervor.
现在就是看7费能不能右手进到伊莎菲了。这样对台面上那些等一下受击要开的东西都会比较。
Doesn't get to play his Ouroboros next turn, unfortunately. Turn 4. Sepukuma doesn't really have any good turn 4 cards, especially against an empty board. So it's likely that he's going to be playing something else like this Sister Initiate. And that's actually pretty good because he gets to pop his beast called Arya, and he's actually going to evolve his Raptor to push 4 damage. And this is actually a pretty smart play here from Sepukuma, because now his board doesn't completely die to the Salamander's Breath. And that looks like it's going to have to be Tong's play. He doesn't really have anything else. Unfortunately for him, doesn't have a Saha here. Saha cool would have been nice with those Israfils.
人家明明要的是744，你给人家叫988，还叫得这么准。
好了，那就是看这个萨拉曼达突袭。
这里应该是2+3+2。
解1张，
然后进化解1张。
And he's actually going to go for something. He's going to use both his followers and evil and the Salamander's Breath. So he wants to develop a board with this. I'm not too sure about this. Like, he could have cleaned 2 followers out anyways and be not as weak against Kujo. And now he plays into the Kujo. But maybe he's baiting it out. He doesn't want the Kujo to hit his Ouroboros. The Ouroboros gets to trade, gets to wipe out the Kujo. He can evolve it if he wants, though it would still be in banish range. So maybe you just kill the Kujo and pass. He's not afraid of dying this turn. And you might want to save that evil for your Israfels as well.
10回连补2口应该是相当惬意，所以我觉得可能8回这边不进化，9回也不进化，10回再进化。
Yep, so he's going to save his evil point, which makes sense.
对，
目前这血量也还没有到斩杀线。
你进化就
See what kind of response Pokemon has.
对你这个台面是非常非常伤的。
而且对面也不太可能放着。
Garuda would be 6, 8, 10 damage. So he'd be getting there. The Itherfoot does bounce him back up. Gonna start with the Dogma.
好，这边
Drawing a card there.
这个我们的十字猎鹰开始
Maybe his hand is kind of bricky.
后续的伤害，因为龙族这边准备要，你知道刚
He has 7 cards in his hand though. He should have something good to play.
相当惊人的，那就看你后续有没有办法去再把伤害推出来了。因为你一边要挡伊莎菲尔，一边又要把伤害往连走，其实是比较困难一点。而且他的这个跳飞系列没有那么上。好，神魔审判所。这边硬是把伤害推下来，那这边看起来是伊莎菲尔可以解场边补血，其实进化点好像可以交。
如果也可以考虑做。
He's gonna play a Tribunal. That's okay, I guess. Like some tempo, he gets to push some damage in as well.
因为这样你就不用急着交掉你的进化点。
是。
是我的话，我会选择8+1这样的打法。
Alright, so this Itherfoot could come down and it can clear the board if he wants. Although he doesn't have to. He's going back up to 15. He can save his evil point. But he's going to go for it. Doesn't want that 5 damage to come back to his face. There's a Tribunal out, so it could get popped by Garuda or a Dogma and clear off that 10-10, which it will. But Tong's still has tons of threats. He's got Itherfill, a second one, and he has a Bahamut, and an Ouroboros, so he's got lots of options of what he can do. And we do see Tong had pick up the Uriel, just as a reminder. He is playing 1 Polyphonic Roar. So Bahamut doesn't seem as good, because it's going to be popping the amulets. Maybe he just goes for the Ouroboros' turn. Ouroboros, you're just afraid of it getting banished. Israfel is like gets the strongest body out there. You get health. You're out of evil points anyway, so you're not gonna get that rush effect. The Tribunal's gonna wipe that away. The thing with Tong picking up the Uriel this late is that he's not gonna be able to develop Polyphonic Roar for like 2. He has to commit like 2 turns for it, and he starts getting dragons 3 turns from now. So we'll probably not see the Polyphonic Roar unless that's like his only option to go for that route. He's gonna go for the Ouroboros. He is back up to 19, so he's not afraid of dying. But this is turn 9, and Sepukuma does have Aegis in his deck, so does he have the Aegis here? His earlier turn seems a bit slow and weak, so I do think he has been holding on to one of his Aegis for a couple turns now. So I'd expect it to come out. But it looks like he might just want to be banishing this Ouroboros away. Oh, it doesn't even get a banish. It's going to remove it. I guess he doesn't have the... Yeah, if he's going for this, he definitely would have played the Heavenly Aegis, so he doesn't have it. And that's going to be a full board clear with those 2 Blazing Breaths and the Ouroboros. And Ouroboros is getting a lot of value, surprisingly, against the Haven, where they have so many banishing effects. Just none available for Sepukuma to use on this. What to do? I still think, if Sepukuma does draw one of his Aegises, like he would have to draw it like either this turn or next turn, and then maybe he could still come back here. Yeah, he just doesn't have. He is only running 2 in his deck. He's not running 3. But it does make sense because running 3 probably is too much. Lost his option here. Tong finally going to be playing one of his Bahamut's. Just because it's going to be popping only one amulet and the tribunals are gone. And this also sets up lethal with the Ouroboros sitting in hand. Ooh. Okay, so it's not lethal yet. Holy crap, that's a big bird. I think this is just gonna get Bahamut'd again, to be honest. Bahamut is like the easiest play here. You could use Zeus and trade, but why would you when you could just Bahamut clear everything? But he's going to go for it. Values his second Bahamut in his hand. And it's clear, so puts up a 5-8 as well on the board. This is, I guess, slightly better. Like if your opponent picks up the third tribunal. So I like this play here from Tong. That's gonna be it. Tong taking the win there with his dragon, and not only tying the series this matchup 1-1, but he's also putting the finals on match point or series point since Sharpedo won his match.
看 GIF 动画一样，就看到乌罗波是3进3出，我什么都不用。
下去，上来，下去，上来。啊，你是什么时候才要那个才会消失？结果从头到尾都没有消失。
So Tong will be playing his Vengeance Blood, and it's going to be against this Hybrid Haven. And this is pretty much hard. It's really close to your standard Vengeance Blood, although he is playing Crazed Executioners and Blood Packs and only one Hungry and Horde. And he's got, okay, so he's got Devil of Vengeance and the Air Jammer. Now, if only he picks up a Belfagor, his hand could be insane. Picks up something to do on turn 2, and it's the Imp too. So that's pretty good since it won't be able to get scriptured. So Pukumi, being on the play, gets to play his Hound first, which can now set up for a scripture. If he chooses to play a scripture on that Imp. You might want to just develop instead and save the scripture for what could be the Executioner on turn 3 for Tong. I'm going to start off with the Urius over the Imp. Makes a bit of sense since either way it would get banished by scripture. Going to have a bump here. Set up that Urius to kill later on. Will it be the Devil of Vengeance or the Executioner? Yeah, the Executioner, since there's no 4-drop in Tong's hand that would put him in Vengeance next turn. Also, since he's against like a Stormhaven, he might not want to put himself to 10 so quickly. Ooh, this Dogma is pretty good. Sepukuma could have traded the Hound into the Urius first to take 1 less damage, since he's doing this trade anyways. So, small mistake there. We'll see if Tong gets the exact lethal later on. But that Falcon's going to be doing a lot of work. It's going to be the second Executioner from Tong, probably the Flower Bed as well. And I assume he has to trade into this Falcon with the Evo. Executioner being at 2 health is easily killable by either a Lion Spirit or a Scripture or a Cujo or a Tribunal. Alright, so what do you do here now as Tong? I guess you could go Succubus and Imp Or you could go for the air jammer. Only pulls out one follower this turn though.
把自己慢慢的往后推这个复仇的量，虽然慢了点。
应该不是慢了点，是慢。
Wouldn't mind the succubus imp. Does he pre-evolve here? There's no Semis decree to punish a pre-evolve. Yes, he's going to pre-evolve the succubus. This makes a lot of sense too, because now Kujo can't just clear this board easily. And the succubus is protected by the imp.
而且这边前面有出完恶魔党的，其实他们要解这个魅魔也没那么容易。
Might not have an answer to the succubus. Oh, Garuda on the tribunal, nice. That's big. Tong is in a very scary spot now because he has to dance to Dust the Tiger. And the Flower Bird's going to put him at 8. Garuda evolves to 6. So Sepukuma just needs 2 damage and he's going to be at 12 life, so he's not even that scared of dying. Yeah, if only Tong drew a drain there, that would have been a nice clear. Possibly thinking about a different play. He could go Air Jammer actually. He could go Air Jammer Evo to kill the Garuda, because then he can't evolve the Tiger again, and he picks up the Imp off of the Air Jammer, so that's a really nice pickup.
但问题一样没有解决，就是你还是兵临对方把你压下。我这边打的比较偷一点哦。那这样的话，
This way he gets a board too, so he's taking a risk there. Paying off. And this is getting really clutch. Tong is so close to dying. And Sepukuma needs to win this so MSV could continue playing in the series. And that's just going to be it. Sepukuma taking the match against Tong and keeping MSV alive in the finals. And that's going to bring it to the ace match now. So we're gonna have Evil Spirits on the God side versus Yukin on MSV side. And this is the last series of the tournament, determining who will be the winner of the SCL Japan versus Taiwan Invitational. So let's see if we can get right into game. Alright, so Evil Spirit's gonna start off with his Haven. And his Haven being the Storm Haven. Full Storm. Yukin with his Forest, which will be the OTK Roach featuring the Mahaya's Pixie Mischief stuff. This has been a really close tournament overall. There's been so many match 3s going to the final game too, which makes this tournament quite a bit longer than I thought it would be. Right, Evil Spirit here was a pretty good curve on his amulets, but this is going to be the turn 3 Ancient Elf being a 4/5. That's going to be quite troublesome. Okay, so he has an answer to it. So he could develop the Birdsong this turn, and then next turn he has Lirio to ping it and then trade. And he also has a scripture he could possibly use with that turn. If not, he could just play the Pinion Prayer.
这边在反正在双方哇，这个双方的手顺都非常好。这是在双方的手顺过程中，顺便提一下，如果这个台湾这边的队伍得冠军的话，
Dogma
也会额外获得，额外获得耀夜赞助的额外奖。
Dogma does it change? Oh, he could Dogma his Aria, trade the Raptor in Scripture, and then evolve the Tiger to go over the EPM. And then the Tiger also trades into the Fina. So that looks super solid for Evil Spirits. The Tiger's also going to be at 3 health, so Sylvan Justice isn't just a clean answer. You would have to have like Sylvan Justice plus EP, Elfchild May. I like it, I like it. Okay, Pixie Mistress bouncing back that Tiger. Stalling Evil Spirits quite a bit. He does get the Falcon though. And what's the turn here for Evil Spirits? He's got a lot of different options. I think he evolves the Falcon so he can start pushing that damage. Probably doesn't go for... He probably won't go for the Gravekeeper. He played Tiger. The Tiger and Pinion Prayer. Go double 2s and the Pinion Prayer. There's actually so many options. Like I can't even recommend a good. I can't even say what would be a good play here. Let's go for the Tiger and the Pinion. Aaron, for you can hear, this will allow him to get over the Falcon. Probably the only way that he was going to be able to. 3 health is banishable. Oh, you really want to play the Garuda this turn, but I think you could play the... I think Kujo here is great. You could go Kuja and Arya, and then next turn you could Garuda your Arya instead of the Pinion Prayer. So it's looking really good for Evil Spirits. And he gets to push 4 damage. Seven play points now, and you can do anything with this board. At most, he's probably just going to be able to clear 1. Got an EPM. So he's got like 4 0-cost fairies in his hand now. I'm wondering if he has a huge combo coming up. He might have a combo next turn which could get the win. I don't. Let me check. Okay, Gravekeeper Sonya does have ward on her own. She doesn't have to activate her fanfare. So he could. So Evil Spirits can protect himself with the Gravekeeper Sonya. We play 1 fairy so he doesn't burn. I guess he doesn't have Roach and 2 bounces. Because if he had Roach and 2 guidances, that would have been an insane amount of damage with 4 fairies that you could play for free. 11 damage on Evil Spirits. It's a Garuda. Kind of tricky because he's afraid of the Roach combo, so he doesn't want to set up that Sonya. Setting up Sonya makes his... I guess he just drops the Reno. I think this is too ballsy if you just play Garuda. So Haven is cheat, going to play out that ward.
利诺可以多摸一点伤害，这一点很关键，就是他等一下打出来的图吧，跟这一点有关系。
好，在 MSV 这边是并没有进化点。
And if Forrest get through this ward, like if Forrest can't clear this board or win the game this turn, Garuda's threatening 5 damage.
可能应该是意志，然后。
So it's going to be tough. There's like 12 health on the board for Evil Spirits. He does have one Mahez. Mahez would be nice. Oh, he does have it. It's going to be the clutch Mahez. And that Mahez is stopping the damage from coming out. Like Garuda, he's only going to get 3. He has to trade the Cujo plus the Raptor and to just get through that Mahez. And he's out of wards now. It's 1 0 cost fairy left and you can tan as well, I believe. But he has to get rid of the Mahez, and the only way he's going to get through it is with the Garuda. I guess he could go... No, Garuda Pinion Prayer is bad. You might as well just go... actually, is it? Wait, actually it might be better to go Pinion Prayer Garuda, because next turn you have the Falcon plus Garuda. So if you don't... So you're missing out on 1 guaranteed 2 attack. You're missing out on 1 guaranteed 2 damage by not going for the Pinion Prayer this turn. Because the Ario is popping next turn anyway, so you could have popped the Pinion Prayer. And then next turn you go for the Falcon and Garuda, which would be 6 damage. And then since Aria is popping next turn, that's 2 damage as well. I think that would have been enough, I'm not sure. Like, it was tempting to go for the on-curve play, but at this point it doesn't really matter. But it looks like you can just dig in here. He might not have... Oh, he gets a Dance of Death. That's going to clear it up. Because it's doing 7 and he has 1 fairy that could finish it off. Yeah, if Evil Spirits actually went for the Pinion Prayer over the Lirio, he could have won this game. Wow. Well, I guess here... Yeah, because he missed out on 2 guaranteed damage. That Lirio didn't hit face, so the Pinion Prayer would have been popping out of his hand. With his opponent would be at 5 right now, and then he has the Falcon plus the Garuda, which is 6. I guess now you... What do you even do? Because these amulets are kind of awkward now. You can't... It's not like both of them are... Or the one you don't pop off Garuda is going to pop next turn. It comes in 2 turns. And that's just going to be a bit too slow. I think the Roach is going to kill you by then. I guess he goes and kills the Fairy with this. Or just goes face. I think that 1 damage, it could be relevant if Yukin doesn't have enough cheap cards. And that Fairy, that 1 damage kills him. Because he doesn't, he could have taken that trade, since he has enough damage on the board. But then if the board gets cleared, then yeah, he wouldn't have it anymore. So I guess there's some merit to just hit face. But if he's hitting face, if he gave up on board and he's just going face now and he played a Pinion Prayer last turn, not like this. Yes, you can have the Roach combo. He used the Roach earlier, right, to trade. How many does he have left?
所以他还需要一些法术来让场面没有那么多。
对，然后做甲虫而且要2甲，单甲是收不掉的。
他手上需要2张，他需要2张法术左右。
对，
然后再加上2张甲虫。
小梅。
Oh, he might have only a maze in his hand.
有2张法术加2张。
He bounced it back with the ancient elf, possibly.
要至少要4甲。
我觉得甲虫他应该是没有甲虫，他应该想怎么解场。
这么惨，怎么真的还在解？还是在清空间
还在解？因为他刚
So he can trade.
就算右手抽到也只有1张。
Oh, can he kill this rat? Can he kill this falcon?
会有单甲吗？哦，这样可能收单甲。
He picks up a roach, he can.
这张就单甲。
Okay, ancient elf. Oh man, this is a close game.
这个关键。
这样达克还是没有收。
盾过不去啊。
Lirio not gonna do anything, so this ancient elf is gonna hit face for 5.
问题是能不能有甲虫啊？
I'm pretty sure that golem mage should have picked. Actually, Yukin is playing dungeon crawlers, so he might be whiffing on his roaches. He did get the golem mage back, so he can replay it again. One damage short. Thinking if he wants to trade, he really don't want to trade. Has no benefit.
真理的反扑，
对我一直记不起那张名字，不好意思。我一直把它记。
Alright, so I think a roach should be lethal.
这边
there's a roach.
没有理由收不掉，
Probably 2 roaches.
2+3这么简单。
Oh, the dungeon crawl, alright. Spicy.
好的，这边。
That's going to be game 1, going to Yukin. And Team MSV game 1 step closer to winning the entire tournament. Grabbing win. The win was a forest. What is his rune deck left? Oh, it's the aggro dirt. The aggro dirt rune. Can it get Team MSV and Japan to win?
那接下来要看他们双方的 second pick 了。那达克这边选择比较多，那知道对方面临是巫师的情况下，可能极州主教还是会再拿出来。
So what would the gods queue in next?
白狼妖可能还是要放。
Would they throw back the forest or
所以以妖精而言
switch it up to the haven?
并不是那么好打，感觉上。
Which one has a better chance of winning?
对快攻图这种比较冷门的牌，真的没有那么大的研究，那么长研究。
The Stormhaven. Stormhaven has pretty good removal tools.
对，他还是算是会一直保留场上有。
The forest might get aggro down.
有点类似铺场的感觉吧。
对。
对，然后直伤也是妖精没有办法那么好承受的，所以我觉得应该是打起来比较好打。
Looks like they're having an issue here.
这里对手是断线了吗？
Yeah, so one player just has to restart. So let's try to find a game here. Oh, too much.
因为如果你不做这个圣师那边的话，他可能也。我觉得刚刚有一首我其实很。
Alright, we'll just leave it here. It's close enough.
1+6就。虽然这样政策就有点可惜，但。
It did look like Evil Spirits went in with his Haven though.
因为如果你不做这个圣师那边的话，他可能也不会这样花这么大台面去解，所以是还可以有商讨空间的。
就也是一个选择问题啦，就你要防哪一个方面的东西。对，也不是这么单方面的。如果讲的是对面解掉，然后没有盾的情况下，那当然一定是做1+6比较好。相对反过来的话，就是2+6比较好，所以这是选手上选择的问题。
Alright, looks like they got the code and we could get back in. I'm surprised this tournament didn't have the spectator app. Since they got like all the popular teams on.
比赛已经开始了。
Alright, getting back in.
然后这边还是选择基督主教来对抗这个，来对抗。
I feel like Yukin's
那这样的话
aggro there has been not the greatest deck
看起来很
in
像
the tournaments. Watching from like the quarterfinals and stuff,
像1、2、3
quarters and semis.
数字对了，牌不对。
达克没有一次是不是1、2、3的。我相信等一下右边就会进张2。我相信我所相信的达克。对方睿智的数字。
我就怀疑他作弊。
好，没有了，没事。
Turn 2 just going to pass it. He's going to hold on to the dogma. Doesn't want to use it yet. Because the Pinion Prince is going to pop next turn anyways. He's going to be able to deal with this Illusionist. Do you go for the Grimnir or do you set up the Falcon? Probably go for the Bird Song. I can see the Grimnir just to block out some damage though. But next thing you have Kujo, and Kujo could banish away the Warlock. So you can deny the Earthright. Could be important. Especially in this aggro dirt, they have like, they want to have their Earthrights to activate their aggressive effects like the Halo Golem or the Mage of Nightfall. It's just going to be the Angel Word here. And I imagine the Kujuk is going to come down and clean this up pretty cleanly. Next turn, Evil Spirits has a really good next turn, which is Birdsong and Dogma, so he's going to have 2 Falcons next turn. Plus, this Kujo has to be dealt with. There's no Earthrights, or no Earth Sigils on the board for Yukin, so you wouldn't have a Halo Golem. That's the defense alright, but it gives the initiative back to Evil Spirits now, and going to get those double Falcons out. And that might just be too much for Yukin to handle. Evil Spirits is at 13 life, but his board is going to be pretty big. And you probably evolve one of these Falcons. You just saw the Dance of Death. Maybe he goes for the plea. But having 2 Falcons on the board is like so strong against an aggro deck that doesn't have anything. Plays around a lot too. I guess he wants to do this. He has Garuda next turn so he can pop his amulets. Could've got an extra 3 damage in though. I guess if he had Dogma, his Garuda wouldn't get any value. But do you care about value when you're when there's 2 aggro decks and you're just trying to race each other? Like that, the Falcon doing 3 damage his previous turn, and then he could do another 3 damage this turn. It's going to be a naked Halo Golem going into this Falcon. That feels so bad because it doesn't even survive the trade. Oh wow. So Garuda gets to come down and I probably hit it on the Falcon so that you can start getting the damage in. You have a second Garuda anyways. Don't need cards. You can evolve the Falcon too, just make another 5/6. Push 8 damage this turn. Pretty disgusting. I'm thinking if he wants the plea though. I don't think he Dogma, and if you play Arya, you're limiting yourself to only playing like Grimnir. Yeah, you might as well just play the Garuda. It's the most expensive card in your hand, and it's doing a lot of damage while filling your board. So you're doing everything you want to do by playing Garuda. I think you evolved the Falcon. It's so you just saw your opponent struggle so hard to deal with your first 5/6 that the second one should be just as hard. It would take like all the resources to deal with it, and then you still have Garuda to hit face. And actually, by evolving the Falcon and put him at 7, he sets up lethal because Garuda would also he could play a second Garuda for the last 3 damage.
其实对于退出我前面他真的太伤了，因为他前面下2只，第一只被神准解掉，第2只又被这个被这个消灭，被我们这个时髦。
Don't think that's gonna be enough. I don't think 3 play points could deal with that 5-6.
这边看起来应该是游戏要结束了。
If Rune had the card that 3 play points and could kill that, that'd be kind of broken.
没有，他没有放手后面。
那就没有了，那没有机会了，那边就结束了。
哦，他可以。
Oh, okay, he does have one.
可以进化解。
Nice.
只是他这样伤害交光也是慢性死亡。
应该是没有机会了。那达克这边应该就稳下来了，甚至可以考虑要不要先。
So it did take all of his resources to clear it. He did actually get to clear it, but here comes this Garuda.
加速收集野兽公主呼唤。
对。这边甚至如果来个1，我觉得也可以就一起拍下去，没有差别。
Do you play Garuda here? You could go Arya, Dogma, and Grimnir. That might actually be better. You can set up your Arya so that it pops next turn.
扣到都不知道人在哪里。
交易开了。
And then your Garuda. If you pick up anything off the plea, like another Pinion Prayer, you could combo that with the Garuda. Gonna start off with the Dogma. Picks up a Reno and a Grimnir. I see. He's gotta go for Arya, right? Actually, no. You can wait a turn on the Arya. You could just go Reno and Grimnir because you could play Arya with your Garuda next turn. And it's pretty much the same thing as playing the Arya this turn, except you -1, 2, 2. So definitely better to just play the Reno here.
抽完之后，君主就直接下了。那受记就应该不用，觉得那个。
Nah.
好吧，他这边还是。
Man, these players are making my explanation of plays feel bad.
那个法师这边是没有什么太多的解场。
哇，这在观察炮。 虽然9点伤，但是其实。
Alright, Magic Illusion just gets banished away here by the scripture. And this is pretty much going to be it. The aggro dirt's out of cards. Big board here for the Stormhaven. And that should be the top left. Yep.
好，这边极乐主教达克这边扳回一城，达成1-1平手，游戏进入最后一局。
Alright, so Evil Spirits tying it up, and this will go down to the very last game to determine who's going to win this tournament.
这边看到是土火法。
That's how you know. That's when you know Shadowverse is a balanced game. Like once you make it so everyone has to play different classes, so no one's just playing Shadow Dragon. Like you actually have such a close set. Alright, so will it be the Roach or the Aggro Dirt?
其实并没有那么的优质。那我觉得妖精与森林使者这边
I don't think Fairy Whisper is good enough. It's probably too slow. Maybe he's considering holding on to one of his 4 or 5s if he wants to evolve into that. I think ideally you're looking for cards like Sylvan Justice just to remove those early threats.
看达克这边想来想去，那反而是在 MSV 这边的大将是换牌比较快。
Oh, he's keeping the EPM and the Fina. So he must be going second here. Yeah, he's going second. In that case, that makes sense because if you're evolving EPM and Fina, you don't have the hand space for Fairy Whisperer either because you're gonna have too many cards. Oh, that maze pretty good. Main 2 Fairy into Ancient Elf. Looking good here for Evil Spirits.
被害他死掉，
但你要校对啊，
都是我的错。
要校错牌。
然后对手这边，好啦，礼貌点给他。
Angel of the Word.
他们两边都打
Fight back. The Evil Spirits just snap coin the Goblin Mage over the Ancient Elf.
这边达克3倍准时拍。
Makes a lot of sense because this turn Halo Golem could come out, so Ancient Elf would just get killed for free.
我这边直接裸下了符文魔冠炮。
Piercing Rune.
那这样的话，达克这边进化的有可能会扳回一城。
Okay.
达克这边进化的。
I think Evil Spirits is fine with that.
这边的手牌非常好。
Hey, he is playing the Silver Bolt version.
而且不会爆牌，就是准时做2个0。
He does need to play at least 1 fairies if he wants to play Fina next turn. So we'll see if he would play 1 or 2. I think it's fine to play both of them. Since you know you're playing against an aggro deck, you just want to house off on the board. And you have like the Fairy Whisperer anyway, so your hand's going to get full. Might as well throw out this fairy. Might let you kill whatever you can evolve next.
但我觉得其实也没差，你要下就全下，因为你其实到时候
decides to keep it. Wants to hold on to it, might get some roach combos going. It's gonna be Levi. Levi and probably Crimson Sorcery on the EPM. So he could get the board.
这边5回做了，准时做了李维，然后想要结场配上这个火焰，那个红莲的法术。
Ooh, he's going face.
Go face 了，这边可能是
That's spicy.
推伤害了，所以就直接。
He gets the board clear. He just really wanted to face damage because if he did use the Crimson Sorcery and then traded, he won't be getting that damage to face. And to Yukin, that's important. The second Silver Ball Force. Evil Spirit's not what he's looking for, but he could just go for Fina on this turn, evolve Fina, play the Goblin Mage if he wants. I do think with the second Silver Ball pickup, you just kind of want to keep going face. Because you could tell Yukin's just trying to race you now. So if you just have a board, the repetitive damage is going to make up for throwing your 0 costs down to try and set up a roach combo. He also doesn't have like a nature's guidance, so like holding on to them seems a bit too slow. I guess the scary thing is like if you're going to evo your Fina on this turn, you're a bit afraid of Dance to Death. Dance to Death will take up the entire turn, but.
这个甲虫关键，如果拉歪的话，问题会很大。
应该还有机会，那就要看这边还有应该是会叫最后一个进化点出来解。那对于达克这边或许还可以再靠。
Yes, so it's going to be the Dance to Death from Yukin.
这边直接隐秘术直接踏掉。
And Evil Spirit's going down to 11.
那或许这边
That's still a decent amount of health. Like this deck,
或者是可以做
Aggro Dirt is aggressive, but
艾琳其实我觉得
11 health is doable. It's not like they have huge burst damage. You can now he could drop the air and start getting some life back, and then maybe just evolve the Goblin Mage and start going in.
7回再推过伤害就好了。
这边。好像艾琳还好一点，我觉得他形容好危险。
对，把艾琳把翔拉起来，拉艾琳还因为对面刚刚也交了一张那个Star，所以没有那么急，不用怕会被解掉。我觉得这里下艾琳好点。
而且你如果知道远古可以回手，艾琳可以再拿。如果你真的需要的话，有
Yes, he's just going to drop the air in here. Strong body, lots of stats, got ward. This heals him. You can just might be running out of fuel here. Ooh, that's a Melvi. That's a good Melvi. Draws 5 cards from that. And all of a sudden, you can got some fuel. Now the part of just trying to grind out the aggro dirt seems less likely. So now Evil Spirits might be looking to try to set up a combo instead. The game plan has changed. He can go Fina-chan and play the and just throw out the Mei. So he has hand space.
这边可以小梅甲虫回手小梅啦，然后再把那个把对面土。
He could go for an ancient elf too.
这是我觉得土变还是要消，土变这一定要消，你土变不消来不及。
7费这样打一波，然后8费再打一波。
Looks like he's going for the roach. Yeah, so the roach to poke for 3, then ancient elf plus the Mei will hit the magic illusionist. It will just resurrect, but this is good. Oh, he's just removing all the Ursa Just. Doesn't want Halo Golem or Night Illusionist being the thing.
然后那些对方跟前面有进化点，等一下真的要需要做，可以放甲虫虚解，然后你妖精那个妖精与森林使者可以。
Or Mage of Nightfall, not Night Illusionist.
排数排量，对。这手还算打得还不错，那现在就要看对手有没有办法再扑出来，因为对方已经没有进化点，所以他真要做也就是什么灼热啊，或者是灼热配消灭这种。
Okay, so the mutagenic ball is pretty good.
那其实没有到很痛，就是你还是维持10点血。
And you're probably just going to do 2, go for face. We'll put Evil Spirits at 10. But how much? It also puts Yuki down to 13. How much damage does he have with his roach? Not quite enough. He does have some draws off the Glimmering Wings.
假设我压到剩下9点血或是8点血，看能不能靠白银剑去打胜这样。这边硬拉个图片。
这边应该就打。
Oh my god, this is so close.
不过这边老鼠还是要换掉，老鼠换掉，不然伤害太高了。
Sylvan Justice. That's the card. He could use it to clear. And I think what he could do is set up. He could use the roach to put Yukin in a life range where Silver Ball could kill him next turn.
好，然后2张老鼠要换吧。
先看一下。
太熟。白狼这不重要了，白狼已经没有利用价。
So 2. So 4, 5. So he does 5 damage with the roach. Putting him at 8.
这一甲虫推出去的话，伤害下回合是。
And next turn he's going to have 6 damage. So the Silver Ball alone doesn't kill Yukin, but if he has 2 minions still on the board, it would be enough. Are these fairies going to survive? Oh, Scrap Iron Golem blocks it.
这个盾关键。这个盾目前手牌上是解不掉的。
对，可能还要蹲一个潜行在里面。
对，如果还蹲潜行的话，那真的问题会有点大。
要说。
Oh yeah, it will be 7 damage next turn, not 6.
其实还可以，甚至要放白狼上去撞都没问题。
That's a death.
再卡一个。
Whoa.
这样血量。好，那可能等下可能会有双点头。
Seems like does Yukin even have enough burn damage? Ooh, that's a card.
这个右手强。
That's a card.
大哥不要吓我好不好？你会反可以会快一点吗？
这个右手强壮啊，天选之人。
啊，这个艾琳来得好急。
Yeah, you just go for the Aaron here, I think, and then you evo the Aaron so you can hit that 1 damage with the fairy, so that you'll have Silver Bolt next turn, and you go up to 9, plus have a ward. That should be enough to secure it for Evil Spirits and the Gods. I don't think there's anything that you can have.
那么就要看这边能不能说啊，直接投降。
I don't even think he had an answer to the Aaron.
那这边确定是。
And that's going to be Evil Spirits taking the win and winning it. And TheGods will be winning the Taiwanese versus Japanese Invitational by SCL. Congratulations to TheGods. Really good team they have there, like Sharpedo Tong, Evil Spirits, all recognizable names in the Japanese community. And look at their dank logo. That's the best esports team logo I've ever seen. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my solo cast. I will be posting up the VODs on my YouTube channel as well, so if you missed out on any of the games, the quarterfinals are already out on my channel, except for one. I forgot to record one, but yeah. So yeah, if you guys don't know my channel, it's just at YouTube/TheJordude. And yeah, make sure you follow for more content. The people of SCL actually, the people of SCL did reach out for me to do this for them. So I'll probably be doing more English dubbing on Asian tournaments in the future. So if you enjoy this, make sure you follow. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good night. Peace.